One of the biggest problems every single trader faces during their development is not your strategy, it's not your indicators, it is your emotions and how they mess up with your results in trading. I am Alejandro from the Decide to Trade team, and today I'm going to walk you through my journey and how I learned to manage my emotions using my own trading algos. Even with a solid, back-tested trading plan, emotions can take over when real money is in the line. When I started my trading career, I started as a price action trader. And at the beginning, I started to do all my trading plans and everything, and then, backtesting and practice. But whenever I went to the demo, or whenever I started to go into more real-time trading, things started to happen. Either I will be closing my trades too early due to either fear of loss, or maybe I justify it at the times as the market has changed the momentum. There is no longer that much steam in the run, and I need to take profits early. But sometimes inside in the reality is that internally, I was mainly thinking, I don't want this trade to turn around on me, so I will just better close it out here. Or I'm going to go out, I don't want to have the risk in there, I don't want to come back. Right now we have 50% to my profit, to my take profit. I don't want to come back and see that the trade actually went to a stop loss after I go for lunch or go for groceries and that. So I will just close the trades and feel okay with myself that I reduced my risk, or I took away the risk from that potential small win to convert into a full stop loss. And there were also things of trailing trades aggressively, trying to lock in profits. But sometimes it's more really about reducing your risk and feeling like, oh, maybe, I don't feel like comfortable with my stop loss at the beginning. It's too much risk for that trade. I want to, if I lose, I want to lose a bit less money. The market already moved my way. I don't want to get a full stop loss if the market moves back. Those type of thinkings or decisions are all cases of emotional trading, and those cases affected me as a developing price action trader in those times. There were also several times in which I would start my analysis during the day when I came back from university or when I had time, and I will see many trades that I lost that were great trades earlier in the day or the past day, and it was like, oh, if I had just been here, like a couple of hours earlier, I would have been able to take that. And sometimes that puts your mind into a state of FOMO, of I already had, look at all these nice setups that I missed in the past. And, if I had just been here, I would have been able to take them. And now my mind is trying to look at what can I make to make it right. My analysis skills, I'm able to identify, to analyze, to get the trades, but I want to make things right in the sense of I feel like, like I am owed something by the market. So I start to overanalyze and try to force trades driven by FOMO. All of those things have happened to me in the past, and they had a great effect in my early trader development, as there were some big hurdles that I struggled to pass through. They were a big hurdle that I had to go over to as a trader as I was developing. One thing on the other side that also happened when I was developing as a trader, shortly after I started learning about trading and started to create free courses and that, I stumbled upon strategies and algorithmic trading or automated trading strategies. Very simple style, moving average, crossover, just buy one lot, sell one lot. Really simple stuff of trading strategies. And also I kept coming upon basic automations things for trading, such as, you can put notifications here, alerts, so really basic stuff on the early automation process. And I kept always being interested, even though I was developing myself and learning mostly price action trading. Every so often I will come back into the forums and find and keep reading and learning more about this algorithmic trading or more automation in terms of my trading. And it all started with, I will start to do some notifications and trying to get my manual trading, trying to remove some of those variables in my discretionary price action trading and trying to get some notifications, some other things to make it easier, to try to reduce those cases in which I will miss trades because I was not there in the time. And it started evolving from, okay, I have the notifications. Now I made some simple tool that is helping me to get notified of basic patterns, basic things. And then I will do all the execution later. And then I was like, well, oftentimes I'm in school, and the time I was in university, and I may not be able to immediately react and place my trades in the moment when notifications happen. So I try to see, okay, how can I make a small thing? I just place in my order, puts a stop loss, I'll take profit, maybe a bit far away. And that gives me time I'm already in the market, I just need to adjust things and manage my trade. And it kept going that way. And every single time I came back to automation, I would like it and be more interested in it all the time. But there was also on the other part of the manual trading, since I was just automating some parts, but the trading ultimately depended on me executing the things, either executing the trades at the beginning or later executing the trade management and other types of analysis. It always had that part of whenever those emotions will flare up, or you have a difficult exam week and you are a bit tired, then you still have to manage your trades. And then it's a lot easier for you to make mistakes in that part of the manual trading. So I always keep going back to, I have these tools that I am using to help, and whenever I use more of those tools, it helps, but I still mess it up with my emotions sometimes. So I continue looking more into algorithmic trading and started developing my own simple algos. I started by using those no-code automation tools that we had in the past, very, very simple stuff. And from there, I was like, okay, this is too basic. Now I need to start doing more. That is where I started to see a change in my trade development. I started to see that as I was adapting more or testing more algorithmic trading stuff, my manual trading was also becoming a bit more systematic. It was getting a bit, some of the things that I was doing were having less mistakes and less of those justifications for that, because I was seeing how the things in the algo, it's just, it is or it isn't. There is no maybe or, oh, I can justify this. No, if it's a thing, if it is a correct setup according to what you programmed to the algo, it will take it. If it's not, even by a tiny 0.0001, 1.1 pip, it's not going to take it. So those type of cases started to help me to realize that maybe for me, the algo trading was something that was better for me, since it helped me improve my discipline in trading, but it also helped me take away that part of execution, take me away from the parts where I am more likely to make mistakes in trading, which were the active trade management and the entry of the trades, so execution. So I started to work more on the big picture of looking at the algo, looking at the stats, starting to do all those things. And that's also when I'm doing all those things. Also, in my relative early times of algo trading exploration, and when I had already a base, but I didn't have anything too concrete at the moment in terms of a full strategy or something that I will be able to trust to trade all my money, to transition fully from being a discretionary trader to an algo trader. That's when I was with Etienne and I started talking to him about his strategy, the building of band reversal. And then from there, we started collaborating, and we ended up making his strategy and later Michael's Thomas strategy from this how to trade team into algos. And that's now what I am running in my own personal accounts. So all my algo trading and most of my trading now, it's done via those two strategies, which are strategies from people that I trust and that have been performing even since before well. And now we automated them together, and we work together to make them into something that also works for me as an algo trader, in which we have the framework, we have the whole thing, and I just focus on the improving the strategy, backtesting, optimizing, and getting all of those parts there. And then the algos are doing the execution, the day-to-day stuff. And I became more of a algo manager, systems manager, to say it in a way, instead of just day-to-day trader and executing. And it has made a really big difference in my trading. By the way, if you want to learn more about the algos that we have, that Etienne and I built together, we have them now in our Algo Nation program. We are right now opening again the program for new members to join in. So if you want to learn more about how we use the algos to automate our trading and have our own fully automated portfolio, just click the link in the description below. That takes me to the next thing, is that I have not completely eliminated my emotions. I took myself out of the process. But as an algo trader, I still have to deal with emotions. There are still cases, especially in the earlier stages of my fully automated trading career, I still had that nagging part of the price action, and I will be scrutinizing every single trade. And sometimes I will be like, oh, why did the algo trade place this? I don't like the trade, or I don't like the market context, or things like that. And, close the trades. And those things were still part of that emotion, that not being able to let go the control or the analysis to the algos. Even though I did the backtest, I did the testing, I did all the things, I was still sometimes unable to let it go. But as time went by, things have gotten a lot better and a lot easier, because I have been seeing the results in my account with the algos. And now with the strategies from Etienne and Michael, that are strategies that they have been using for years, in the case of Michael, for decades before I even automated them, I have a lot more confidence in the things. And I have learned that as an algo trader, you mostly care about the process of how you get to the results, how you get to the settings that you're using. And once you have those, it's just a case of letting the algos run. For many of our members, there is sometimes the case of, not being 100% sure of letting the algos do the things. You always, when you are starting, you always have that emotional part of, oh, you have few losing trades, is anything happening? Or, oh, there is this trade that it doesn't make sense, or why this one has to take profits and the one only has one take profit. Things that maybe you are not fully aware of because you don't fully understand the system, or other things. But most of those things can be relatively solved as an algo trader by just letting it better and let the algos just run by themselves. And essentially, the more you let them there uninterrupted, the more you don't affect them, the better they can run. And the only things I really need to take care of is that, if they are inside or outside of their historical or statistical averages. So if we are having a drawdown that is more than expected, then we have to do something. If not, or if everything is going well, then you just keep letting them run until your next periodic analysis period. So that was my process with my story of how I started to go from discretionary trading and struggle it. But the key part of this is that for me, nowadays, I trust my algo, my code more than my own trading, because I have seen the results of letting things run. And I now get my confidence to be able to let the things run, to do all my backtesting, validation, and analysis before letting the things go. Let things go on. And I have noticed that, at least in my personal case and in the case of many other members that I have worked with, it's just that once you have the algos, the more you let them be, the more you let them run, the better the results you have, the less stress, and the easier life is as an algo trader. That doesn't mean that you have nothing to do. There are still things that you have to do on a weekly basis to make sure that everything is running well. There are computers. Computers have errors. Sometimes things happen. You have sometimes Windows just not wanting to cooperate or things like that. So you need to make sure that no Windows update has crashed your terminal and the things are running smoothly. But outside that, during the normal operational stuff, it's very, very hands-off in that part. You still need to do the work beforehand, but you're just changing your role as a trader from the execution-driven trader of executing the trades and following your plan and having to be perfectly on point with your execution emotions and managing all those things, into a role of a manager in which you are managing the systems, you're looking at the bigger picture, you're on the company of your algo trading from the top, instead of being there in the pit every day working. So for me, that has been a big change. Hope this has had any value for you. And let me know down in the comments if you have seen any of these things in terms of with your trading, with your emotions and dealing with them. If you are interested in trying algo trading or seeing the strategies that are using the algos that Etienne and I are using in our own accounts, check the link in the description below. We're currently opening the Algo Nation program for new intakes, so if you want, you can take a look there. And Etienne will be back here on Monday for another video. Ciao.